All right, so basically, like,
The door.
You could have sent it to me, and like I could have played it myself.
oh, okay then.
I'm just saying, like,
Oh, okay, so basically, like, this is all archived, like, so I think at least I think most of it is here. Like, I think there are some paths that are unfinished, but most of the fails are in. So don't.
Move any of the props, they will be heavily fined. It's
sorry,
Friday
heavily
night.
fined.
You and your friend
Sorry,
Don't you
what?
mean found?
Yeah, yeah, found. Yeah.
Jason or move any of the props, they will be heavily fined.
Fined.
Wait, I think you're. Wait, you might want to go to the beginning, like the very beginning.
Your friend Jason tells you that it's supposed to be a standard haunted house type attraction, only themed to the Freddy Fazbear Pizzeria and the horrific events that occurred inside of that place. It's decorated with actual props from the place, which should be pretty cool. It's been 30 years since the place shut down, and yet rumors and theories about what happened there are still lurking the internet. You and Jason have been obsessed with the Freddy Fazbear mysteries your whole lives, and this seems like the closest the two of you will ever get to experiencing the supposed horrors that went on behind the closed doors of the restaurant. They even claim to have found an actual animatronic from the place in working condition, one that was more of an unused Scrappy. The two of you did a little research and found out that the animatronic was actually nicknamed Springtrap. There wasn't much else info on it though. It seemed to be relatively unknown. You arrive at the park at around 11:30. You didn't want to come this late, but this is the only night that Jason would be available to go. The park closes at midnight, so you should have plenty of time to get through the attraction and leave. The two of you make your way over to the ticket stands and buy 2 tickets for the Fazbear horror attraction. Walking into the park, you can tell that the place is pretty dead, especially for a Friday night. Everybody must have left already. One of the few people walking by happens to be an employee, so you ask him where the attraction is, and he points you in the right direction. Moving in that direction, it doesn't take long until you see the big glowing sign reading Fazbear, the horror attraction, with a big illuminated Freddy Fazbear head moving its mouth up and down above the door. The kid manning the entrance is so absorbed in his cell phone that when you hand him your tickets, all that comes out of his mouth is a barely audible grunting noise. Just a typical teenager who's clearly unhappy to have the Friday night shift. You assume the right to push open the door and step into the building. The door slowly closes behind you, and that's when you notice a big warning sign stating that if anybody is to steal or move any of the props, they will be heavily fined.
Oh, heavily
floors are filled
fined.
with-
Oh, sorry. Like fined is in like like
Yeah,
like fined is in like you'll be like a
charged.
lawsuit.
Yeah,
Crap.
charged.
Or like
Yes.
fined is will be found.
Oh,
Fog, to the point where you can't even see your feet, and the walls are decorated with old posters and torn pictures, mostly just the restaurant's characters, poorly drawn by kids. It's creepy, but it's not scary, says Jason. You reassure him that it will get scarier. You just walk through the doors anyway. Jason puts his hand on your back and nudges you forward to move down the hall. Moving forward reveals more props. Walls still covered with crumpled papers with poorly drawn pictures of the characters on them. Up ahead there's what appears to be a glowing jack-o'-lantern on the floor, but upon getting closer, you realize it's the head of Chica, one of the animatronic characters. Do you think that's the actual head? You ask. Yeah, it better be, he says. Is this really supposed to be scary? You admit the atmosphere does have a creepy feel to it, but so far, it's not scary. Hopefully it's building up to something good. Walking down a little more, the two of you come up to an intersecting hallway. You freeze in your tracks when you think you could hear something moving around the corner. It's probably just other people going through the attraction, says Jason. Do you really think we're the only people in here? Yes, I do actually, you tell him. Jason jokingly pushes you forward towards the corner, but as you turn your head, something screams and lunges towards you. You let out a shriek of terror and fall to your knees, only to realize it's just an old Freddy Fazbear costume. It's attached to some kind of remote handle in the wall. It's designed to scare people. You get back up on your feet to have Jason laughing in your face. "Alright, you douche, it would have scared you too," you tell him. The remote rod holding the Freddy suit rolls back to hide the suit behind the corner. You walk up to it to get a closer look at it. It seems pretty genuine. You call Jason over to come feel it, but he doesn't respond. "Jason? Jason, where are you?" "Hey, check this out." You turn around to see Jason in a room across the hall by some kind of arcade machine. "You think it still works?" he asks. "No, of course not," you respond while approaching the room. Jason continues to fiddle with all of the buttons, hoping something will happen. "Alright, let's keep going." Your heart skips a beat at the sight of a demonic face popping up on the screen of the game. You turn to see Jason's face, noticeably full of fear. "Wow, that got me," he says. "Let's keep going, it seems to be getting better." You keep walking down the halls and suddenly you notice there's no more fog on the ground. They must have turned off the fog machines for whatever reason. They definitely paid attention to detail with the place. There are papers all over the walls, scattered across the floor, fake bloodstains on the tiled floor.
Sorry, is this a re-upload, by the way? Or this is original from some guy?
It's a re-upload.
From who? I'm
It's a
guessing like.
re-upload from Mr. Nightmare, you know.
Alright.
Floor, even pipes and wires dangling from the ceiling to give it a broken down look. It almost feels as though it's the real restaurant. Of course, you wouldn't really know. As you keep moving down the dark hallway, preparing yourself for any more jump scares, you notice you can't hear another pair of footsteps behind you. You turn around. Jason's missing again. You call his name, but there's no response. You call louder, still no response. Where the hell did he go? A sound comes from behind you, in the direction you are walking in. You turn back around to see the figure of a man down the hall. It's too dark to make out any features, but you know he's staring at you. The motionless figure of the man down the hall sends a chill down your spine, and you're too disturbed to try and rationalize the situation to think that maybe it could just be another park visitor. You move your leg back, about to begin walking backwards, but at that instant, the figure down the hall turns around and walks away into the darkness ahead. You're left standing there, not knowing what to think or do.
The links should be in the description. Also,
Why would I? Okay, it's just turn around and find Jason. That's all it is.
yeah. Pause for a moment. Alright, so by the way, your screen won't show your. It's not showing your screen. I think you might
Oh,
want.
come on. But like, the only choice it showed was turn around and find Jason. I can't follow the man. I wasn't gonna follow him anyway, but I can't
Yeah,
choose that option.
yeah. From what I
Anyways,
heard,
have to read
yeah,
something.
from what I heard, it's an unfinished path. Like I think it was going to be continued, but it probably got canceled. You know that other path. Yeah. All right, share your screen again. Yeah, sure. Hopefully it'll work this time.
There it is.
Okay, yeah.
I can only turn around and find Jason. I can't follow the man.
Yeah, I know.
You don't know who the hell that guy was, so maybe you shouldn't proceed alone. You turn around to go find Jason.
Well,
You pass by the Freddy Fazbear costume again and go back into the room.
Smartest response ever. Why would I follow a freaking guy I don't know?
Yeah,
Unless you say, "Hey, you lost."
yeah.
If
Yeah.
any, I'd just be like some guy, just like probably like either just trying to find their people or just something like that. So why would I go follow them? Unless they came up to be like, "Hey, you lost." Fine, but no. Of course, I'm gonna find Jason.
room with the arcade game. He's not in here. You call Jason's name again, this time so loud that there's a bit of an echo. That sound, it came from down the hall that you originally entered from. You leave the room and turn to walk back to the entrance where the sound came from. The red glow of the exit sign stands out in the dark. It seems as though it's providing more light than the main lighting. It must have gotten darker in here since you entered. The darkness only makes it that much harder to find the source of the sound. Forget it. You figure you should just go back outside and ask that kid if he saw Jason walk out. There's no other place he could be. It's literally a dead end from where you were when he disappeared. You grab the metal door handle and try to push it down, but it won't budge. It's been locked. You pound on the door and scream for the kid on the other side to open up. You do this for around a minute, but it proves pointless. The kid obviously left, and it seems there's no one else around to hear. You check your watch for the time, and just barely in the dim light, you can see that it's already 10 to midnight. They must be shutting everything down now. Damn it. The kid wasn't even paying attention. He probably doesn't even know that we came in here. You think to yourself.
Lock down a building without
You
checking
try to
everyone
rationalize.
outside the goddamn building.
Okay, maybe the exit door is
That's
still
not how
unlocked,
you know,
and the entrance door is
interaction.
only locked since
You
they're
wait
not
till
letting any more
everyone's out,
people in
not
now.
you lock it up.
It's so obvious. The kid is waiting for us at the exit. All we have to do is make it through the attraction. But where the hell is Jason? Okay, so he most likely didn't leave the building. That just wouldn't make sense, because if he did leave, somebody would have been bound to have still been around by the time you started pounding on the door. You walk back down the first hall and to the corner, expecting the Freddy suit to pop out at you again. But it doesn't. Damn, they must have shut down most of the power already. That's why the fog stopped and the lights are getting dimmer. The remaining lights must be some kind of backup nightlight system. So he's not in the first hall. He has to be in that small room with the arcade somewhere. You walk back into that room, which is now completely pitch black. You take out your phone and turn on the flashlight, scanning the room. You continue to call Jason's name repeatedly with zero luck. You scanned the whole room. He's not in here. Only a bunch of props. Then while looking at your phone, it hits you. All you have to do is call Jason and ask him where he is. You quickly dial his number and put the phone up to your ear. It takes a few seconds for you to register what you're hearing. It's Jason's ringtone. It sounds like it's coming from above you. Flashlight's still on. You look up to see an air vent hanging open. The cell phone ringing is coming from up there. Maybe you could find something in here to climb on to reach the vent. The arcade game jumps to life, flashing the same disturbing face from before. But how? Isn't the power cut now? The idea of calling the police suddenly doesn't seem so bad. So you go back into the phone app, but you're not getting any more service. That makes no sense. The screen on the arcade machine switches from the face to a barely readable message. It says, "Leave him if you want to live." What the hell is going on?
What the hell do you want with Jason?
Find a way into the vent or listen to the message.
No, because I'm pretty sure listening to the message and leave means that the story's over or something like that. So, no.
Alright then.
What the hell does it mean like, what the hell do they want with Jason? He's not... Unless they think, oh, it's him.
There's a couple of crates in the corner of the room, most likely props. They would be perfect for helping you reach the vent. You position yourself behind one of the crates and begin to push. It's heavier than it looks. It must be filled with something. Once the crate is directly underneath the open air vent, you climb onto the crate and try to reach the vent. It's too high. You jump up and try to catch a grip, but you just barely miss it. You need just a little more. Something small. The screen on the arcade machine switches again, this time to an original Freddy Fazbear face. You can see that it's staring right at you. A laughing sound can be heard from out in the hall. It's getting closer. You have to hurry. You scan the room for anything to climb on. There's an old rusty toolbox and a pile of papers in the corner of the room. You have to decide quickly what to climb on.
The toolbox. Why would I use a pile of papers that are either gonna squish?
You hop off the crate and grab the rusty red toolbox. You desperately hop back onto the crate and place the toolbox on top. You step onto the toolbox, but it immediately cracks open and you fall over.
Oh my...
You rub your head in pain when you hear...
Hello?
You turn to the doorway and see it. the decrepit head of Balloon Boy at the doorway. Just his head, floating. You're losing your mind. This can't be real.
Yellows.
Great, thanks. I didn't know papers could help me out.
There's a couple of crates in the
out
corner of the
all
room,
things, people
most
would
likely
crush
props.
because of the weight.
They would be.
Yeah.
You hop off the crate and pick up the pile of papers. You desperately hop back onto the crate and place the pile of papers on the crate. You step onto it and get ready to jump. If you can't reach it, the pile will surely collapse from your landing, so you only have one chance.
Hello?
In your peripheral vision, you could see something by the door, only it isn't a body. You don't dare to look. You jump up and manage to grab a hold of the edge of the air vent. Suddenly, something brushes up against your leg.
Also, how the hell would I have died?
Oh,
The phantoms can't kill you. Only
well,
Springtrap can.
okay, well, I don't know how there is some sort of way, but I don't know. Continue.
Not really.
Okay.
Not much.
That's all the motivation you need to pull yourself up into the air vent. You crawl away from the room as fast as you can into the dark air ducts. You're too afraid to look behind you and fear that something will be following you, whatever that thing was. You need to find Jason and get the hell out of here now. This place isn't just an attraction. Up ahead, you see something laying on the floor of the ducts. Upon getting closer, you realize it's one of Jason's cigarettes. Now you know he was in here. As you continue to crawl on, you come across an air vent that leads into a little storage type room. There's a few boxes, animatronic parts, even a life-size statue of an animatronic in the corner. Then you notice somebody in the other corner of the room, sitting in an office chair. You call to them for help and rattle the air vent to make noise, but the person doesn't even acknowledge it. You could break open this air vent and hop down in there if you want. Or maybe you should just keep moving down the vents.
Why do I feel like if I break into the room, something bad's gonna happen? Like, I'm just gonna get arrested or something? Yeah, fuck it, I'm gonna do it, whatever.
You don't have to, but
You hit the vent repeatedly with your elbow until it breaks open. It was easier than you were expecting.
God.
You squeeze through the vent and hop down onto the floor. "Excuse me, I need your help," you say as you walk up to the chair. You spin the chair around to see nobody sitting in it. You fall back in shock. They couldn't have left. You would have seen, even when you were breaking open the vent. You try the door. It's locked. You're losing your mind. This can't be happening. Wait a minute. You realize something. The statue of the animatronic you saw in the corner, it's not there now either. The sound of a footstep behind you helps you realize the horrible situation. You turn around to see what you assumed to be a statue was actually a real animatronic. The animatronic that you had read about online. Springtrap.
How the hell did the guy disappear or something? Like, was he a ghost or something?
I don't know. It's you'll see
He
later
was
on.
right there, unless the ventilation was making him hallucinate.
Yeah, I know.
Fantastic, great.
You hop off the crate and pick up the pile of papers.
Nope. Crap.
You hop off the crate and pick up the pile of paper. Something's not right about this. It's giving you a bad feeling. Maybe it's best to just keep moving down the air duct. Suddenly, before you could even get 2 steps past the vent, the office chair spins around, revealing a man in a purple suit and hat, and he's also wearing a yellow badge. His face, though, it's something that could have only been imagined in a nightmare.
Oh, great.
His
so
facial
it's
feature-
basically saying that purple guy is not Springtrap.
Nope, just keep looking. Just keep watching. You'll see.
Wait. No, because, like, if he's...
and limbs appear deformed, covered in blood. Various bloody wounds suggest the man had been impaled by something. The man, or thing, suddenly turns its head up to you, through the air vents. You hightail out of there and down the ducts. You pass various overhead vents that
I really
are
would have thought at
inaccessible,
least there would be
and
some
eventually come up
security
to
guard
the
in
only
this
other
building.
available
Not,
exit,
purple
a vent
guard,
that leads
some-
into an office-type room. You scan the room as much as you can.
Also,
Nothing
pause
in
for a
there
moment.
except for a big office desk, a fan.
Yeah, you might want to increase the volume again.
It's loud, man. It's as loud as it can get. What volume? My mic?
Yeah.
My mic is loud, dude. Like legit, it's
Oh, yeah.
right here.
Okay, yeah. All right.
Maybe
Continue.
your volume is not loud.
Yeah, you're probably right.
And another office chair. You bust open the air vent relatively easily and hop down onto the floor. The landing hurts your ankle a bit, but you can still manage to move. The room you're in, it's a security room. It seems as though it's equipped with some controls to the building. There's even monitors to the security cameras. You need to get the lights back up higher in this building, so you examine the power switches, fiddling with a couple. One turns off the lights in the room, the other turns on some kind of alarm. It takes a few flicks and switches before you see through the glass in the office looking out to the hallway that the primary lighting is turned back on. It's still not super bright, but it's better than before. You figure now you can look through the security cameras to try and find a way out of the building. The monitor is already on, so you click through the different camera screens to try and find an escape route. The reassuring sight of an exit sign appears on one of the camera screens, and according to the little map on the screen, it's very close to this office. Just for good measure, you check a few more cameras to make sure the coast is clear. You switch to the next camera over to see a creature staring at the camera. It's an animatronic. It looks like some kind of rabbit. And then you realize it's the animatronic you read about, Springtrap. It stands there motionless like a statue. Considering everything that has happened in this building and the history of the animatronics of this place, you don't want to get close to that thing. Though it isn't blocking your path to the exit, so long as the exit door is locked, you should be fine. One more camera you haven't checked. It's on the opposite side of the building, but you click the button out of curiosity, and then the screen brings up a darker room. It seems like a closet, but there's something on the floor in this room. It's a person. You roll the scroll wheel on the mouse up, and the camera zooms in. It's Jason. He's laying on the floor, not moving at all. Could you make it to him? You switch back to the other camera where Springtrap was standing. He's not there anymore. Should you run for the exit and save yourself? Or should you try to save Jason?
Depends how far is this, like, how far is it? Is it, like, near... When he said camera, did he say, like, near... The one that's near, like, where Springtrap usually starts off at? Like, the very top. Because if it's the very top and Springtrap's there, then probably not. Like...
Well, you get one of... Well, this is the... You're close to the end. The other is just two endings, you know.
But I know this one will probably be a bad one.
Like hell are you gonna leave this place without Jason? What kind of friend would you be? You poke your head out the doorway of the office into the hall. The coast is clear of anything paranormal. The closet was on the opposite side of the building. The first turn you have to make is a right down this hallway. You tiptoe the best you can down the halls with your ankles still hurting. You turn the next corner. Everything is still quiet. Then you notice the posters and the pictures on the walls. There's no more drawings of Bonnie, Chica, Freddy, Foxy, and the other characters. They're all pictures of Springtrap. And their eyes, they all seem to be focused on you.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
You must be losing it. It's all in your head.
Then again,
just
it
get to
probably is
Jason
just
and
the
get out of here.
ventilation being
You pick
weird.
up your pace a little,
Yeah.
no longer
Makes
tiptoeing.
sense.
That sound, it's coming from behind you, but you don't turn around. You don't want to know what's behind you. You find yourself back in the room with the Foxy head mounted on the wall. You're almost there. You walk back down the hall across from the room with the arcade machine when a door appears on the right. You hadn't noticed it before. It has a do not enter sign on it, as well as a supply closet sign. This has to be it. You open up the door. It's almost pitch black inside the closet, except for a tiny nightlight in the bottom corner. You scream and spin around as the humming sound is now right over your shoulder. It's a withered, disturbing version of what was once Foxy. You jump into the room and slam the door shut before the thing could grab you. Thankfully, there's a lock on the door, so you lock it and feel it's safe to step away from the door. Taking your first big breath in the room, you inhale a foul, putrid odor, causing you to cough and gag. It smells like something is rotting in here. But more importantly, the cheap nightlight in the corner is enough to reveal Jason lying on the floor. You immediately check for a pulse and are reassured to the slight bumping in his wrist. You shake him around a bit, trying to wake him up, but he's out cold. You check your phone for service again, still no luck. You scan the room with your cell phone's flashlight for anything you could use, anything that could assist you in getting out of here. All that's in here are janitorial supplies, some more crates and boxes, and a couple jerry cans. You shake one of the jerry cans to see if anything's inside. It's full of a liquid, of which you assume to be gasoline. That's normally what these things are used for. You take off the cap and take a whiff. The strong, familiar aroma fills your senses. It is in fact gasoline. Why does this place have all this gasoline in here? But a more important question, how are you going to get Jason out of here? Becoming desperate, you decide to check the crates and boxes for anything that could assist you in escaping safely. You grab the handle on one of the crates and lift it open, and a blast of rancid, foul air hits you in the face before you could even see what's inside. You start gagging again from the unbearable stench, but manage to take a look at what's inside of the crate while holding your nose. You put both your hands to your mouth as you stare in shock at the crate full of rotting human body parts. You try not to throw up as you shut the crate as quickly as possible. You have to get out of this place right now. Your only option is to drag Jason out of here, but it's not going to be easy. You have to check the hall to make sure that the coast is clear now. You unlock the door and quietly turn the doorknob, pushing the door open slowly. The right side is clear. You open the door a little more to get a view of the left side. It's clear as well. Alright, it's time to go. You wrap your arms under Jason's and begin to drag him, but you stop. This place is evil. You can't leave it standing, claiming more victims. The gasoline, you can use it to... Of course. You check Jason's pocket and instantly find a lighter. For once, you're happy that Jason
great.
smokes.
Like, even if he does do this...
You grab the open jerry can and begin dumping gasoline all over the floor and the crates. You grab another jerry...
Okay, I really would not do what he's doing right now. Yes, it's evil, but think about your impact, what's going to happen afterwards. You're going to look like a madman. If they don't find evidence, they're just going to think you're crazy and you just started, we're just insane.
Yeah.
If he gets out of this and tells the police, you know what's going to happen? They're going to think he's insane and he killed those people.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen. If he ends up getting out of here and burns the place down, you know what's going to happen? They're going to label him as a criminal and someone who's insane.
Yeah, I know.
A serial killer, even.
Yeah, just
if anything, what I would do is I would take photos of all the evidence I have and get out of there and show it to the freaking police, and also tell them and also back it up by saying, hey, I was locked in here because the employees were such morons that they couldn't actually check to see. Maybe we should let the other people out and not keep them in there to die.
Yeah, pretty much.
So clearly it could have been in a better scenario, but he's going with the whole burn the whole place down thing, which would technically, rid Springtrap, but would probably label him as a villain, as a criminal, and he'd never be able to, get out of it.
Yep.
Because trust me, like, Cap, imagine you get out of there and you just go, officer, please, you have to understand me. There was a killer animatronic and these weird ghosts trying to kill me in this building. I had to burn it down. You know what they're going to label you as? Some guy who
Insane.
was insane killed those people and burnt the place down, thinking that like it would be okay, and is probably like mentally insane or
Yeah, I know.
mentally
Yeah,
corrupted.
I know. I
Yeah.
know.
You can pop it open and fill the hallway with
Be
gasoline.
surprised.
Now you just have to drag Jason to safety and burn this goddamn place to the ground. You run back over to Jason and prepare to drag him down until you look up. That's when you see him.
Yeah, pause for a moment.
Rabbit, spring.
Yeah, I miss 2015. Like, I miss how Springtrap was scarier, back then. Like, seriously, that model is peak. Like every corner, like every pose, like in the FNAF 3, it's menacing.
I guess, yeah.
All right, continue.
Springtrap, standing a few meters away from you. It's him. He's the one doing all of this. All those stories of evil animatronics at the restaurants, they're all true. What do you want? You call out. The rabbit just tilts his head as a confused dog would.
Hey, pause again.
Can you understand me? Are you doing all of this?
So yeah, remember when this was made in 2015? So remember when William or Purple Guy wasn't called William or didn't have an official name yet?
Vincent. No, that's what everyone called him. Yes, I know.
Yeah, but this is
Everyone called him Vincent.
Yeah, but wait, this is Mr. Nightmare's own interpretation of William, or as a serial killer, before he got spring-trapped.
Okay, yeah. Well, we didn't know. This is before we knew it was. Did we know that it was Purple Guy? No, I don't think we did.
Yeah.
Either way, no. Like, Springtrap is like, yeah, whatever.
All right, continue.
It doesn't make a sound. You slowly lower Jason and reach for the lighter in your pocket.
I wouldn't do that if I were you.
Yeah, I don't think
It
you'd be
spoke.
talking, idiot.
So you're no different than those damn robots from 30 years ago? The rabbit lets out a terrifying sound, one that you can only perceive as an evil laughter.
You fool. I am the reason for their existence. More than 30 years ago, the animatronics at Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria were no more than expensive machines covered by plastic costumes. I had a love for harvesting and experimenting with human flesh, but it was so damn difficult to acquire. So I would go for the easier targets, children. So I got a job as a security guard at the restaurant, and one.
So the whole idea is that like William is just he never killed the kids because he just killed them for the sake of for his son. He just killed them because he thought it was for science.
Yeah, also, it was some sort of fetish or fun thing. Also, this was before FNAF 4, I believe.
Yes, I know. I mean, I could tell.
Okay. All right, continue.
Also, part of me believes like no, because technically this could technically still be canon, but it'd be in a different story.
Yeah.
Why? Because if you don't know, in Poco's, this is also what we thought as well. In Poco's, the William Afton character or Purple Guy was called Simon Fitzgerald, which is Jeremy Fitzgerald's brother.
Yeah.
He is the Purple Guy in Poco's, and his reason for killing the kids is exactly that. He was just doing this because he needed it for research. Because what he was doing is he found out that there was this serum, well, not serum, but like children's DNA had this thing in them that like could make people live forever, or like could just heal someone. And so what he did is he took the lives of kids because he needed something from them. He needed, their essence. And when he got the essence, what he did is that like he grabbed, because he knew that his brother Jeremy suffered the bite. And what happened is that Jeremy, when he saw Jeremy in hospital, he under no name he gave them the kind of what should I say things necessary to keep Jeremy alive. It was because of the DNA that Simon had from the victims he took. He was able to save his brother's life, but never saw him again.
Yeah, I see.
So he knew that if he like told about it, and were like, "How'd you find this?" He couldn't reveal it.
Yeah.
And it explains in like he also explains it that like he used the essence on himself. So when they killed him, when the children killed Simon, as regular, he lived because of the essence, because of the things that he got from the children.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for that, he never would have lived.
Yeah.
As explained by him.
Yeah.
So technically, you could consider this to be canon. This video right here to be canon. It would just be in the Pop Goes lore mostly.
Yeah.
Because like in Pop Goes, the killer's name is Simon, and he killed the kids for his research.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Night, I tore all of the wiring and machines out of the Golden Freddy suit and lured a group of children into the back room with it.
Well, okay, hold on. No, that's wrong too, though. That's wrong because like it wasn't never Golden Freddy's. It was a Springtrap suit.
Yeah, or Spring Bonnie, but I guess this is before people thought, I guess this is before the Golden Freddy was the suit used theory. Yeah. All right, go on.
Well, people. No, I don't think no one ever thought that the Golden Freddy was a suit. People thought that Golden Freddy was a child.
Okay. All right, continue.
Although I will say there is the theory of like people thinking that Springtrap was Fredbear, but yeah.
Yeah. Go on.
Oh, come on. No, shoot. Hold on. Ah, crap. Come on, stupid mouse.
First ever human animatronics.
You might want to go back a bit.
My God. But how did that bring them to life?
Pause.
There was a
It's not that far ahead. It was at 6 minutes.
Yeah. Just wait. Can you start at 6:20 again, if that's fine?
I got a job as a security guard at the restaurant, and one night, I tore all of the wiring and machines out of the Golden Freddy suit and lured a group of children into the back room with it. I killed them all and stuffed their bodies into the suits to create the first ever human animatronics.
My God. But how did that bring them to life?
There was a paranormal being in the restaurant. It was called the Marionette. It gave life to the 5 children I had murdered in some kind of act of retribution. Since then, the spirits of the children haunted the restaurants with their new bodies. The restaurant closed down after one of the spirits attacked a customer, and the restaurant reopened with a smaller budget years later. Of course, that restaurant...
Okay, before I continue, I honestly feel like that this whole dialogue would have been creepier if it wasn't...
If it wasn't what?
Just, him talking. Because I feel like, mate, if you've been in a locked room for 30 years... I'm pretty sure your voice box would be gone by now. I don't even think you would have a voice box by now. All you would hear, like, you would just hear gargle noise. That's all you hear. What would have been creepy is that, like, all this message was seen from like an arcade machine, or like he was giving, like, messages from the arcade machine, or like it would have been creepy just like him message, like, sending, his thoughts, or like, the electronics, because like he's basically a ghost. Because like, mate, come on, Cab. If you've been locked in a room for 30 years, mate, and you were stabbed multiple times, I'm pretty sure you wouldn't have a voice box or even try to talk now. Like it would just be like that's all you're hearing.
Yeah.
I don't think you'd ever be able to talk, because your voice would be just gone.
Yeah.
No.
Good. Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah.
Closed down as well after the lost spirits killed an employee.
But how did you end up like this?
Like I will say, like before I continue, I will say if this was like directly like after his Springlock incident, I'd say he would have a few more years before his voice gave out.
Yeah.
Like he'd be like, how could you do that? Like he'd sound like gargled still, but he could try to make out a voice. But again, Cap, since it's been 30 years, well, I mean, we didn't know that, but like 30 years, it would only make sense for his voice to just be gone, and you only hear like gargling, monstrous noises. That's all you hear from him. You can't hear his voice anymore.
Uh-huh.
I returned to the defunct restaurant in order to create a new suit to continue my experiments. I destroyed the animatronic suits, turning them into worthless, disembodied souls,
Again.
unable to harm anybody. But the body
He
of the
wasn't
spirits were
an
angry
idiot
and forced me
trying
to
to,
flee to a
not-
room with this suit. I had no choice but to climb into the spring motor wearable suit to escape. The motion of my laughter at the pathetic souls caused the springs to activate.
No! It was the water, you dunce!
Yeah.
Sorry, but like, okay, that's an obvious, stupid claim. My laughter.
And the movement of and the souls, did something, to make it activate.
Well, I will say though, hold on a sec, before I continue the video.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something, Capt. If I can find it. This really puts a whole new. Hold on, I'm just ready for it. Wait, if I could just get it. Yeah, like it brings a whole new meaning to lol, I'm dead.
Cool.
Because like, remember how like people would just be like, oh lol, I'm dead. You're not dead. But this guy is dead because he fucking laughed till he died. Which, again, doesn't make sense. Because how the fuck would you laugh till you died?
Well, I think the spring locks from the tables were faulty and broke too easily,
Yeah, but you can clearly see in the minigame driplets of water coming through the roof.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure even myself knew that, oh yeah, it's the water that broke it.
Yeah. Yeah. I see what you mean.
So,
All right.
yeah.
Continue.
Hailing me. The lost spirits bound my soul to the suit as some form of revenge.
They did not
But the spirits of the
Yeah. Yeah, go on. What happened?
Well, I mean, then again, it's never explained how Springtrap, stayed alive. But you know what would have, again, as I mentioned before, if this was canon to the Pop Ghost story, this would make so much more sense. Why? Because as I said before, he killed the kids because he knew that there was they had this sort of DNA in them that can make a person live forever. And
Yeah.
say like he injected it in himself before this, that would explain, and he'd be like, and with the essence I gained, it managed to keep me alive. My research finally paid off. I was able to still live. Granted, not normal, but I was able to turn into something greater.
Yeah.
Like, that sounds menacing, you know?
Yeah. I see.
Like, more than just, they bound me here, it's their revenge. No, they wouldn't. No, they wouldn't. They just want him dead, that's it. Do they want him to suffer? No, they just want to kill him until he dies. In the words of, some guy, I kill you, I keep killing you. No.
The children will continue to haunt the place, and I will have my revenge.
You're sick. You caused them to be this way. And if you're the only animatronic this place found, how come I heard and saw others?
The lost, bodiless spirits of the children will continue to haunt this building. They cannot do anything to me, and their souls will be trapped here as long as this building stands.
That doesn't make any sense, though.
Yeah.
No, because you're just saying that, it's only because of this building they're alive. No, they're only alive. The thing is, he doesn't realize this, but, they're only alive because the guy... Because, they aren't at peace. They're not happy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I guess
They're not happy with what they do.
Yeah, they're
They're
not happy with.
They killed him, but they're not happy. So I don't think burning the... even if you burn the place, you still get the bad ending. They're not happy. Unless you actually make them happy and give them their quote-unquote happiest day. So really, you burn the place down, not only will you be going to jail for seeming like a madman, but the spirits still won't be at peace.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
We'll never be freed, not while I'm around. Anyway, I believe I've told enough of my story to my next victim. Don't worry, when I slaughter you, I will make your death extra slow.
The rabbit begins to move towards you. You have to think fast.
Towards.
So you were the man in the purple suit that I saw.
That's right.
I don't believe you. Show me. The rabbit freezes and lets out what must be a chuckle.
You don't believe me. I will humor you one more time before your worthless life comes to an end.
Okay, pause.
He does something disturbing and unexpected.
So yeah, okay, I think in this version, I think Mr. Nightmare thought that, or tried to imply that the corpse inside of Springtrap can exit the suit and then put it back on. You know.
What?
I know. I think that's what. I think that's.
No
what
one fucking thought that. Ever.
Yeah.
Like, legit, no one thought that back in the day.
Yeah.
Everyone, like, I don't think anyone... Like, I don't think anyone has ever said, yeah, that happens.
No, I don't.
And
I
plus,
don't think
how the
they did.
fuck could you pull yourself... in reality, you know what's gonna happen?
What?
He gets out... He pulls himself out of the suit, bunch of uncomfortable noises happens, and then just plops, just on the ground. His just body just fucking plops on the ground. That's it. And you're just like, that's it.
Yeah. Okay. All right, let's go.
But like, yeah.
He grabs the top part of his mask and begins to lift up, exposing something even more disturbing underneath. You could see the rotting remains of a human head underneath the mask.
Okay, yeah, he can pull up his mask, but that
You
doesn't
inch your
mean
way
anything.
closer while the thing is distracted. And then, the most unsettling thing you've ever witnessed in your life. You see the mouth of the rotting human head move and asks,
Are you satisfied?
Yes, go to hell, you sick fuck. You flick.
That's such a...
What?
I'm sorry, that's such a... That kind of like line reminds you of like those shitty monster movies or like shitty slash movies that they don't do well. They have horrible writing, but they have that cheesy line that like you remember and you find it funny because the line is horrible. And that's this line.
I
Yes,
see.
go to hell, you sick fuck.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah. What do you think of the
No, because
rotting?
like for instance, like the reason why I say it is because like there is like for example, there's a movie called Leprechaun, and one of the lines is "fuck you, Lucky Charms." So I'm like, so this line is the equivalent of that. It's just like it's as dumb as that, which is just like, yes, go to hell, now burn in hell.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, all right. What do you
The lighter on and press it to the gasoline on the floor
Pause.
and pull away immediately.
Why?
like? What do you think of the rotting mouth of the head moving? You know, the mouth moving.
I don't think he can. Wait, you said he goes out the suit though.
No, I mean like the mouth of the rotting skull of Purple Guy's corpse. You know, moving still.
No, I don't think he'd barely have the chance to do so. Again, as I mentioned before, if this was like, oh, I don't know, like a few months after being spring locked, I'd say he'd still have the chance to move his mouth a bit. But now it's just all gone.
Yeah. All right, continue.
But by the way, like yeah,
Yeah.
just that.
As a wave of fire erupts across the floor. The thing screams in agony as it catches on fire. The loud sound of the fire alarm sounding startles you as you walk backwards, watching the hallway light up in flames. Then, two arms appear out of the growing fire as Springtrap begins running towards you. You back up in fear and shock, half paralyzed, finding yourself unable to run. But the rabbit only makes it a few feet out of the fire, before something else emerges from the flames. Two long black arms wrap around Springtrap and pull him back into the fire before disappearing into the engulfing flames. You squint your eyes trying to see what it was, but it's hopeless.
Now what was that?
You wrap your arms around Jason's and begin tugging him away. Just before turning the corner, you look up and see something in the flames. A smiling, puppet-like face stares at you from the flames as it slowly melts down, until finally disappearing.
That was just pointless. It's
The
supposed to be
fire is
something
spreading
like,
fast,
thank
you have to get out now.
No,
You
like,
pick up the pace as much as you can with your bad ankle, dragging Jason down the familiar hallways. You turn one more corner and see the red glowing exit sign once again. The real exit. You pray to yourself that the door is unlocked. You continue to drag Jason, but upon looking over your shoulder again to the exit door, you see something standing by the door. Something with two glowing eyes. It's Freddy Fazbear, but it doesn't make any sense. Everything the thing said about the spirits, how could it still be here?
it's Golden Freddy, isn't it? It's
You're
Fredbear.
trapped. This is the only
No, it's
exit
Freddy.
left.
Phantom Freddy.
Everything else is blocked by the fire. You lose all hope and lean against the wall, falling down into a sitting position. You've given up, when suddenly you hear a laughing sound from down the hallway by the exit. Followed by the sound of a door opening. You look down to see Freddy, holding open the exit door, staring at you.
That's just dumb.
It's helping you escape.
Oh my god.
You jump back up, grab Jason again, and quickly drag him down towards the door. You make it to the door and stand face to face with the suit, which is still looking at you with his glowing eyes. You drag Jason out the door to safety and hear one more laugh coming from inside. But this time, it resembles a human laugh. It resembles a laugh, that of a little girl.
Alright, when we all thought that Freddy was a girl.
You turn around in hopes to give the spirit some kind of thank you nod, but as the door begins to close, you get one last look into the building. It was gone. It was as if it was never even standing there. The sound of park alarms surrounds you, and yet you don't hear anybody. You go back to Jason and resume dragging him, until you bump into somebody behind you. You turn to see a man dressed in a security jacket and hat. You cry to him about all the horrors that just went on in there, and how the fire started. You assume that he thinks you're crazy, but he responds by saying, "Don't worry, I know." Turns out he was the night watchman, and he was just running late. He had experienced the same horrors that you had right in that office that you were in. In the end, everything that would be expected happened. The building burned down, the fire and police department arrived to the scene, Jason was rushed to the hospital, and the question of how much you should sue for has been brought up. Though, they don't know the story, and you don't plan on telling it, as you don't want to seem like a nut.
Oh yeah.
The security guard urged you to keep quiet about the fire. He made up a story about how it started, some kind of electrical failure with old machinery. He urged you to make up a story about Jason's injury, that one of the pop-up dolls hit him in the head to make it seem like the park's fault. He knew you and him alike would look crazy to try and get the cops to believe that story, or anybody for that matter. As for suing, you have no idea what Jason is gonna do, but you have no reason to. The whole experience has actually brought you peace, knowing the spirits of the children are free.
They're not
decades-old
free.
curse is finally broken.
I'm sorry,
You've put
but
a
they're not
satisfying
happy
close to
still
your
yet.
lifetime obsession. Everything has worked out just fine.
Let me guess,
Well-
we're gonna see the. But is it? Is he still alive? Let me guess, we're gonna see the. But he made it out. No. No. Okay. I guess you won. I thought there was gonna be like, but is he still? Is he gone?
Yeah.
But no, like yeah.
Well, that's it.
Again, the story is just a bit weird. The kids aren't free. They're still upset. All that shit.
Well, Springtrap is sort of dead now, so I guess.
Yep. Sort of dead until we knew that. Oh no, he ain't dead. He's just alive and shit.
Yeah. So yeah, how was it overall?
Outdated to the max.
Yup. Yeah, pretty much.
It's like hold on. It's kind of like this. Now it's kind of like this one song I think I've talked about with you before, but like I remember playing. Now it's a great FNAF 4 song. It's a great FNAF 4. It's the one by Try Hard Ninja.
Which one is it?
This one. It's great, but it's outdated. Why? Because
Yeah. Oh, the
it talks
lore.
about how the kids. It says we were just like you, playing a game, and then the wicked man took us away, and they're saying how they're gonna kill the little kid, the kids that were killed by Purple Guy, and I'm like, no, it's wrong, because this is a prequel, and also, why would the kids want to kill this kid? Those are just hallucinations, nightmares from the kid. It was
Yeah.
never, them trying to kill the kid. So it's a good beat, but like, it's
gone for
severely outdated. The songs, it doesn't work anymore. Like,
Yeah.
it talks about the kids, how they, were killed by Purple Guy, but like, you're saying it as like FNAF 4 is a sequel, but it's not. It's
Yeah.
not a sequel. It's just a prequel. In fact, all the kids didn't get murdered until way later.
Yeah. Pretty much.
So yeah, the song is very outdated. It's a good song, but like, it just won't. It's not. It's not in date. Like, all the lyrics don't make sense. You know.
Yeah, I see.
At the time, yeah, sure, might have, but definitely not now.
Yep.
And that's the thing with trying to get things in date. They won't be in date after a few years because everyone will forget about them.
Yeah.
But yeah, is that all for today?
Yeah, that's all. That's all.
All right. I'm just gonna end it there because I don't know what else to say.
Yeah.
Wait. I might call back if I have something else to say, but like, I don't know.
All right.
All right.
Cool.